viewers, at the very onset I would like to congratulate this YouTube channel and especially Mr. Chatterjee for giving me the opportunity to talk to you regarding my journey, my life with my pets and animals. I am a very passionate pet lover from my childhood. I could remember when I was in 3rd or 4th standard, I used to come from my school bus from my school back to my house. I used to identify the dogs which I could see in the road, and at that time, the owners used to roam around with their dogs in the evening to clear their bowel and bladder. And I used to identify those dogs, and I used to come back home and try to find out which breed this is. At that time I didn't have any idea, barring few common breeds like the Spitz or the German Shephards. I had a small book with pictures of various breeds, and I had to try to corroborate the breed which I've seen in the road with that picture book. Now, as often happens, I became very passionate. I wanted to have a pet in my house, so I went to my father and asked him to give me a pet, and he was not a very ardent pet lover, so he outrightly denied me. So as it happens with most of the kids at that time, I straight went to my mom and persuaded her that I need a pet, and she in turn persuaded my father, and so I got a pet. And at that time I got a short-haired, smooth-haired fox terrier, and that was my first breed. That time fox terrier was very popular. Though the breed was a pet quality breed, it had some defect in the eyes that didn't hamper my enthusiasm, my love towards the pet. Later, due to my academic compulsions, I had to leave Calcutta. So there was a gap when I didn't have any pet in my house. So when I returned home after doing my higher educations, I immediately had my pets. I had a Doberman, I had a Labrador, and these were all pet quality. So these were not shown in the dog shows. Next, in 2003 and 4, I seriously thought of showing dogs in the dog shows, and the breed that most appealed to me was the German Shepherd. It's probably because of its intelligence, its glamour, its attitude, and overall ring presence that has attracted me the most. So initially I got a bred in India German Shepherd dog and a German Shepherd bitch from a very famous line of Mrs. Kalakrishna from Chennai. And this female and this dog did very well. It went on to win the CCs, became champions, and my female also went on to win few best in show lineups. So that was the first initiation of my German Shepherd. I feel whenever you go for a breed, you should have a clear knowledge about the breed. So I started studying the breed. I always feel that one should know the nitty-gritties of the breed before going into the show. So I started reading about German Shepherds. I started reading about the technicalities of German Shepherds, the conformations. There are a lot of books that are available in the nets. There are very many people who are expert in this line. They have many write-ups. They went through these write-ups. And then I first imported my German Shepherd in the year 2011-2012. And that was a fantastic German Shepherd. It had won many prestige show lineups. It had done very well in the specialties. And he was Suitzy on the vanished left. Unfortunately, I lost her last year, 2020. And after that also, I had few German Shepherds that had done very well in the rings, very well in the specialty shows. And to do well with the German Shepherd, you need to have a good backup team. Not only the dog wins, that is a fact, but you need a good backup team, you need a good trainer, you need a good environment for it. And for a German Shepherd, it being a walking dog, you need a good space for them to exercise. You have to be very clear that when you are keeping a German Shepherd or a walking dog, you need to have a good space. You should give them they need a lot of exercises. These are not toy breeds, these are not small breeds. These should not be kept in apartments. Otherwise, they will lose their zeal, they will lose their ability to perform in the rings. So you need a good backup team, you need a good trainer, you need a good double handler for them to perform well in the shows. So I had competed in many shows throughout India. I had shown my dogs under many respected Indian judges as well as foreign judges, many LC judges. They all have complimented my dog. And end of the day, you should remember this is a reflected glory. The dog wins and you get the credit for that. But it is the dog that wins. So whenever you keep a German Shepherd, I think you should have a clear knowledge about the anatomy and the breed specific things. Otherwise, you can land up in trouble. You will be ditched by many people, and you don't get a proper dog that can be shown properly and that can win prizes and honor for you. Lastly, I want to tell you, this is my suggestions, that whenever you think of keeping a dog, please remember it is at least a 10 years contract with the dog. And you should be clear in your mind that you have ample time, ample space, ample enthusiasm to keep the dog properly in your house. Number two is that I have seen that people, when they show the dog, once the dog gets aged, retires from the showings, they start neglecting the dog. This is absolutely unacceptable. The dog, when it gives you honor, when it gives you stud, when it gives you puppies, it is great to you. But once the dog retires, you start neglecting him. That is absolutely unacceptable. So when you keep a dog, please remember that you should give a proper retired life to the dog also. Like what we give to our parents, that is what we expect. Number three, you should remember that this is the only animal probably in the world that they give the love that's unconditional. They don't expect anything from you. In human interactions, any interaction you think of it, be it between a parent and a child, in between wife and husband, there is always a expectation. You expect something from your child, you expect something from your parents expect something from you. They don't expect anything from you. They only want love, and that is unidirectional. And they love you like anything. They know only you, they know only love you, they only love the person whom they like. So we be respectful to them. Whenever they ages, give them a proper chance to be there, to live a peaceful, retired life. And number three, I would like to tell you that whenever you go for shows, I know everyone wants to win a show, but it's ultimately, end of the day, it is a sport. So try to take it as a sport. Try to appreciate other person's dog. If it is a better quality dog, that dog will win. You can lose one day. So take it sportingly. I've seen in many sports, in many rings now, in many shows now, people don't take it as a sport. They take it as rivalry. Sporting rivalry is good, but don't take it to the extent of fighting in the showings, making unacceptable comments, abusing dogs, abusing people. And even if you feel that your dog should have won, it has lost, it can happen. Judging is always, it depends upon the judge. One day he might think that the other dog has performed better. Anatomically, that is a better dog. That dog can win, your dog can lose. But that you may become disheartened, but you should take it sportingly. You should not be fighting with other people and making a chaos in the showing. That is my advice to you. It can always happen that in a showing you may lose, but that should not be to that extent that you start fighting with people. Number four is that to me, this keeping dogs, showing dogs is a passion. I'm a doctor by profession, I'm an intensivist by profession. So this is a stress buster for me. I work with them. I don't let the dogs be trained and be groomed by some other people. I stay with them. I personally groom my dogs in my showings, and this is a stress buster for me. And if that should happen, everybody in our life are in stressful conditions. In the professionally, we are in stress. So this is a stress buster, and you should take this in that spirit only. Thank you so much for hearing me. Hope to meet you next time. Thank you. Bye.